Okay. Late night on a Tuesday. Late night on a Tuesday. Let's see what we got. So, a molecular biogerontology professor. Like geriatrics. They got a new word every day, man. The biological processes of aging. Biogerontology. All right, biogerontology. I'm feeling that. Okay, let's see. We are here. Hold on. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Oh wow. Y'all popped up on me quick. Hey, what's going on? What's up, Chuck Wama, Ogbo, Tahuti? What's up? Anthony, Alaire, Blue Buffalo, Soul, St. Marquise, and Sarah. What is the dealio? Yeah, y'all are in here quick. What's up? Yeah, man. How y'all doing on a Tuesday night? Bet y'all didn't see that coming. But yeah, I was talking about HMGB1 not that long ago on Rich's channel and on this channel in terms of longevity and that aging is a disease. And then right after that, they come out with an article where a biogerontologist states, oh, yeah, we could live for 20,000 years, 20,000 compared to like 50 to 75. That's crazy. All right. So before we get into that, first, I want to give thanks to Wadada and Sister Nelijah for opening up her wondrous store to me, and the experience that I had this past weekend on Sunday, debuting Nesu Nectar in the store. Got to drop people eyes for free. Any of y'all that missed out on that, I'm sorry. But for those of y'all that made it, I appreciate y'all coming out. Had a lot of testimonials in-house that day. People that didn't know nothing about it, just kind of passing by, like, what are y'all doing? And they sat in the chair and they got the drops too, and just had very powerful experiences. And what I love about it is the experiences aren't just physical. They're not just, oh, my eyes are better. It's also my spirit is lighter and I feel good and I feel refreshed and it feel like I released something. And we hold on to things, and we hold on to things in our fascia, and we hold on things in our nerves, and we hold on to things in our organs, and we hold on things in our eyes, because our eyes are probably, they're probably one of the most watery objects in our body. Yeah. Yeah, because in order for you to have vision, you have to be able to see. And the sea is the ocean, and eyes are mainly water. They're mainly ocean, And if water is impressed upon and is psychoreactive, then that means that any part of your body, any organ of the body that is mostly or mainly water is really going to respond to energy a lot, which then lets you know that you would store emotions and traumas and things like that in your eyes as well, So, yeah. Ron C., I'm sorry to hear that. As I tell everybody who comes on here, all you have to do is go to info@soionicbotanicals.com. There's nothing I could do for you here. I'm actually here to talk to the people and give them free information. I understand your concern, but that's why we have an email. That's why we have a phone number. If your email has not been responded to yet, just send another one, because we only have a couple people that answer calls and answer emails, and we have to deal with them in the order in which they come. I repeat this almost every live that I do now. And when y'all do this, it does interrupt my flow and my connection with the people. So, if you go to the site, there is a contact tab. The contact tab has all this information that I'm speaking about right now. So I suggest you go ahead and do that, because I would assume that if I was to tell my fulfillment team to look up Ron C, they won't find a package, because that's not your name and that's not your order number. So I suggest you either call or send an email to info@soionicbotanicals.com. And then from there, somebody will respond and give you an update on your order. Secondly, as much as I'm known all over the globe, and I have viral TikToks and viral Instagram videos and YouTube videos, and I lecture everywhere, my business is still considered a small business. I'm not Amazon. I'm not Macy's. You know what I mean? I'm not a mall or anything like that. I'm a small Black business, and we do our best to take care of everybody that we can. So I suggest you go ahead now. I would like to continue on with what I'm here to speak on. Um, Once again, if anybody has any questions about orders, this is not the platform for that. The platform for that is the platform that I have to take care of the internet, the phone, and all of that in order to have that customer service, because that customer service ain't free, you know? So I suggest that's what you do, and we will take care of you. Okay. I appreciate that, Michael Graham. Thank you. Yeah, man. I was the first out the gate with it. I ain't got no award, no acknowledgement or nothing for that one. And that's hey, that's part of it. But I am acknowledged for making an order late. That's one thing they'll make sure they remind me about, you know. And it's funny because um I was just talking to my queen not that long ago about Mattress Firm. I had to get a new mattress for one of my daughters some time ago, and when I was there, I got one of those new pillows for myself, right? And it was like, yeah, we're going to ship it, we're going to send it to you. I never got the pillow to this day. This was like a year ago when I got the pillow. You know what I mean? Amazon, even these big corporations, they be late, stuff go to wrong addresses, they send stuff broken. Like, it happens, because it's like, you know, ain't nothing perfect. But yeah, let me get to the point. I was speaking on what happened this weekend and just giving thanks, experiencing Wadata and all the people that we got to help and all the people that came out to support me. So I really appreciate that. And for those of you that are in Atlanta that want to get honey Nestle nectar from now on, it will be in Wadata. All right, so let's go to let me read this to y'all. All right, let me read this to y'all. Wait. Yeah, don't know what that was. I hope y'all still here. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Let me know before I proceed. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you, J Bay. All right, so let me go back to where I was. Hold on, right here. Okay. There we go. I'm not trying to do that. Okay. So, a scientist says humans could live for a staggering 20,000 years. This is in Popular Mechanics, all right? Um, so here's what you'll learn when you read this story. A molecular biogerontology professor. Biogerontology is a study of biology that deals specifically with aging. Believes we only started to move toward holding off aging, and that humans will eventually have the potential to live for 1,000 to 20,000 years. Technology not yet created would be key to extreme longevity, as we would need to be able to eliminate aging at the cellular level. DNA repair and reprogramming cells are the only ways to grant impressively different aging outcomes. If humans living for 1,000 years seem like a complete stretch, aging expert João Pedro de Magal Haez, forgive me, will do you one better. How about humans living for 20,000 years? The professor of molecular biogerontology at the Institute of Inflammation and Aging at the University of Birmingham in England talked with Scientific American about the tools needed to really impact human aging. And he isn't focused on gaining a few years here or there. He wants to add thousands of years to a human lifespan. All it takes, he believes, is new technology yet to be created that can eliminate aging at the cellular level, repair DNA, and reprogram cells for a drastically different aging process. My hypothesis is that we have a very complicated set of computer-like programs in our DNA that turn us into an adult human being, he told Scientific American. But maybe some of these same programs, as they continue into later life, become detrimental. Changing those programs may provide an answer. All right, so let's take a pause right there. All right. What's up? What's up, KD Freed? How you doing, Michael Graham, Bridget? Thank y'all for joining us. Yeah, so there's a difference between aging and development. So like when you go from being born to being like 25, is that necessarily aging? I don't think it's aging. I think that's development. Similarly to a frog being an egg, being a tadpole, then being a full-grown frog, right? The frog's not aging, it's going through development. A caterpillar going from egg to caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly, right? A dandelion, right? Going from seed to sprout to the yellow leaf to the fluffy white leaf. I mean, the fluffy white flower, right? All of these are developmental stages, but not necessarily aging. So the programs that are inside of our DNA that would take us from an egg to an adult, right? That period of time isn't an aging time, it's a developmental processing time. So those same genetic sequences, as we go from 25 now to 50, should be able to fully refine that adult stage or that developmental stage, as opposed to a continuance of entropy, so to speak, a continuance of a drop of order, a continuance of an increase of disorder or chaos, which comes from environmental toxins. We shy away from the traumatic experiences that we have growing up. So we see it as a norm now. It's like, oh, it makes you tough. My dad always talked about the black man's struggle. We talk about relationships, how, you got to fight, you got to have that tension, and it's like, how do we know that? Have we been in situations yet where we have documented children being born in like one of the most nourishing, nutritional, and giving environments, where they're poured into constantly and stimulated from that point onward up until they're 25 years old? I think they talked about that in Twins, in that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. They was trying to like make the perfect human, and it split into two, and all the great genes went to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and all the leftover stuff went to Danny DeVito. But I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was supposed to reflect that kind of energy, you know what I mean, or that circumstance where what if everything good, went into a thing, So I believe that we definitely have the capacity to live past 75, past 120, and keep going if we're not living in a environment where we constantly have to pay bills and answer to people and look over our shoulder and turn on the TV or look on our phones and see all this stuff going on in the world and hear about trauma and death and fear. And if the sympathetic nervous system and those chemicals inside of our blood are constantly being produced time and time and time again. So you're producing inflammasomes, and all these other byproducts of toxicity, environmental toxicity, chemtrails and xenobiotics and microplastics, and for the people who eat meat, the muscle memory of the trauma that the animal goes through before death, and dirty water and sewage, and the fact that the FDA lets rat droppings and mice hair and all this other stuff into a lot of the food. Certain percentiles get a pass in certain warehouses and factories. If we weren't constantly dealing with that all the time, I don't see a reason why we would have to age into death. And I feel that if we want to age, if we want to see our body like get older, I think we would have the capacity to be able to allow our body to do so. And we would have the capacity to allow our body to stay in a state of stasis in which it doesn't age any longer, but it continues to develop, right? Because, when you think about when you were in high school, think about junior high school. I'm going to talk to the brothers out there, or sisters too. Forget it. Brothers and sisters, we're talking to both of y'all. Remember you was in junior high school and you just started really working out, because you wanted to be on the football team, basketball team, you want to be in track, cheerleader, volleyball. So that's when you really started becoming active, started working out. You remember the developmental process you went through at that stage versus high school versus college versus now where you're like 25, 30 and you look like a beast. You a monster out here in these streets when you're walking around, right? So that wasn't aging. That was you refining and developing your body. So why after a certain age does the redox potential start to drop with our mitochondria? You know what I mean? Why do the grays pop up, the crow's feet, the wrinkles, the thinning of the hair, the skin isn't as robust, the woman's breast isn't as supple as it was before, the man's muscles aren't as rippling anymore. Like, why do all these things happen? Because there's a change in the chemical makeup that ends up happening, and that change in the chemical makeup equates into aging, you know? Yeah, and then I ain't even mention all the non-native electromagnetic frequencies. Exacto mundo. All right, so Miguel Hayes, I think I'm saying his name right. Miguel Hayes says that the key isn't so much finding the next drug, although certainly medicine has improved lifespan significantly and helped eliminate some leading causes of death. He believes that the medical intervention necessary for these extremely long lives will require finding a way to eliminate aging at the cellular level by reprogramming cells and genes critical to the aging process. His research has so far focused on animals, seemingly outperforming similar species. These include such animals as the bowhead whale, with its 200-year lifespan, and the naked mole rat, which can live 30 years while similar rodents live just a few. Various long-lived animals such as humans, whales, and elephants all have to cope with the same issues such as cancer, but they use different molecular tricks to achieve their longevity. With bowhead whales, they seem to have much better DNA repair. He cites the P53 gene and its cancer suppressing capabilities as important to this long lifespan, and says that there may be other genes we need to target. Okay, so we can go and look at I think it was called Project Power that Jamie Foxx was in, and Gordon Levitt, what's his name? Gordon something Levitt, Gordon Joseph Levitt, I think his name is. But yeah, they both was in that movie, and they, all these humans were having these superpowers by taking these pills, and these pills were based on the manipulation of a lot of animal genes. They was able to extrapolate the different abilities animals had. You eat the pill, and now you are imbued with that power. So right now we got 50% off going on soionicbotanicals.com, and it's not on everything. It's not the whole site, but it's some items on there. The honey is, I'm gonna have the honey on there for sure. Give you all a break, so y'all could try it out. C3's back up. That's not on sale. I have a few left of P3, which is the wonderful female tea. That's for the, PCOS and menopause, hormonal balance. I only put a certain number up initially a couple weeks ago. I had some extra ones. I didn't put those up. I only put a few up, and they went, and I put what I have left up there. So any of the sisters that were interested in the P3, there's a few of those left. So y'all can get on that as well. Herbal University is cracking back up, starting back at the end of October. We have a pre-enrollment special going on where you're almost saving half of the tuition. It's $1,000 right now. And that's for a class of 26 formulations that you're going to learn. And in those 26 formulations, you're going to learn about 26 different herbs and, what they are, where you get them, how you grow them, how to manipulate them and utilize them properly in order to extrapolate its properties to help you and your family. And you can take this information, you can make a business out of it. You can take it and just use it for your family. You can take it and it could just be something for your own knowledge as well. So we have that available too. You can't purchase the course through the website. I have it set up where you have to go directly through us. So you have to write us an email, info@soionicbotanicals.com, info@soionicbotanicals.com, and just, let us know, listen, I'm interested in being a student, of KT and learning this wondrous information he got from Dr. Sabi. I need to, I've been wanting this for a minute and it's here. So I'm not playing, I'm jumping on it. So, just reach out to us and let us know, because I'm vetting, because you get bots, you get scams, you get people that are doing it just for refunds and stuff like that. And you can't really tell when it's just going through the site, and then it's going to be some real powerful information talking about what it does for this disease and everything like that. And I can't even properly describe it on the site because it gets flagged. That's why a lot of my products don't really have descriptions like I like, because and that's another reason why sometimes a lot of your orders end up getting stopped, is because they'll stop my site. They'll pause my site. They'll let y'all still order, but I won't be able to do anything with the site like I need to, because they're like, until this is fixed, until you take this claim down and everything, we ain't gonna let you move forward. So that happens a lot as well. So in this, we're having y'all come to us straight, so we ain't got to worry about that. But that's for any of y'all that are interested. So we got C3 back in full effect. We got Herbal University cracking. In addition to that, all of the old students of Herbal University get free access to the new class. Okay, all my alumni get free access to the new class. And P3's back on there, and then 50% off on the site, soionicbotanicals.com. All right, so animals. And he mentioned the bowhead whale. He mentioned elephants. He mentioned the naked mole rat, but I didn't see, and maybe it's going to come later in the article, but he didn't say anything about the immortal jellyfish. The immortal jellyfish is really the only animal that can live forever. Whenever the immortal jellyfish gets to a certain age, it reverts back to being a baby. So imagine you go through your life until you're like 70 or 80 years old, and then you're like, oh, I want to do this again. I want to keep going. And you go all the way back to being like 7 years old, and you just go through it again, No, I do not sell tooth powder. I'm sorry, I don't. But oh my goodness, Holistic Heights, right? That's not, that's her. I hope I got it right. She has some good tooth powder. Our childhood Jabs removed that gene at birth, apparently, so maybe that's responsible as well. Interesting. Oh, Gordon Hewitt Levet. Yes, Hewitt is the middle name. Thank you very much. Um, there's a missing gene we have that prevents us from getting diseases, and a doctor whistleblower was taken out for that. Oh, really? Can you drop the name of the gene, a link to the article, information on the doctor, Zen of Earth? I'd appreciate that information. Thank you. That make you not want to eat no food, water only. Um, you look like 27, same as you did in high school. I hear that. I hear that. All right. Okay, so yeah, let me see. Let me type that in and make sure I'm telling y'all the right thing. But yeah, I think it's holistic heights. Why I would not know. Yeah, it's holistic heights. Yep, she has tooth powder. And actually, if you type it in, the tooth powder is on the Google picture that pops up, ironically enough. So yeah, she got that. All right. Yeah, Zena Earth. Let me know, man. You're probably looking it up right now. So let me go back to the article. Yeah, let me see by a show of hands before I go back to the article. Who is interested in being a student of mine? Who wants to learn? Because this is just some free YouTube, you know, sharing my thoughts with y'all, connecting with y'all. But who wants a little bit more of an intimate setting where they can really get the understanding of these roots, barks, leaves, trees, flowers? Huh? Yeah, let me know. Let me know in the chat. And while y'all go ahead and let me know that, I'll go back to the article. All right. So, various long lived animals, such as humans, whales, and elephants, all have to cope with the same issues, such as cancer, but they use different molecular tricks to achieve their longevity. With bowhead whales, they seem to have much better DNA repair. He cites the P53 gene as and its cancer suppression capabilities as important to this long lifespan, and says that there may be other genes we need to target. While adding in new drugs, rapamycin has shown to lengthen the life of animals as much as 15%. So this is the mTOR pathway that they speak on. Has an impact achieving the wildlife spans of 1,000 to 20,000 years will require cells that don't age. To figure out how to stop the cellular aging process in its tracks, humans need to be a bit more like a naked mole rat. A naked mole rat. A naked mole rat. Like a naked mole rat. In terms of cancer resistance and probably overall aging as well, it's their ability to respond to and repair DNA damage. He said, adding, he believes aging is more a software problem than a hardware problem. So if you think of a computer, he's trying to say it's not so much the computer or the OS system, the hardware, the hard drive that runs the system. It's really an app, like the apps. You know what I'm saying? And apps, you could remove apps, you could delete apps, you could update apps, you could write new apps, you know? So at least in theory, humans can have radical interventions that rewrite genetic software and redesign human biology to delay or even reverse aging. In practice, it is difficult, but in theory, I think there's a huge potential. By huge, he means pretty much as huge as you can imagine. I actually did some calculations years ago and found that if we could cure human aging, average human lifespan would be more than 1,000 years. Maximum lifespan, barring accidents and violent death, could be as long as 20,000 years. All it takes is redesigning our biology to eliminate cancer and evade the detrimental actions of our genetic code. He thinks we'll get there one day. We'll just have to wait and see if he's right. Whoa. So they keep bringing up the C word over and over again as the culprit. And we know the C word got a lot to do with parasites, heavy metals, environmental toxins, non native electromagnetic frequencies. So the same narrative that I've been speaking on, for years now. Um, this scientist that's into the study of aging is like, yeah, when we remove those things, there's no reason for us to age because they're the thing that's causing the inflammation, and the inflammation is what's causing our body to break down, because that's what aging is. Aging is a slow road to death. It's like, okay, we're not going to die right now, but we'll start breaking the body down to the extent that when you look in the mirror, you can tell something is drastically wrong. And we'll keep doing that, until the last day where you can't look in the mirror anymore. All right, Daniel Cates, I said it earlier to someone. You have to send an email or a call. This chat is not for that. I'm trying to have a conversation with everybody. And also, if you can, let's keep from the profanity and the language, because that's not respectable at all. I'm very respectable here, very kind, very giving, very humble. We all grown folks right here. And I understand your frustrations that you might have because, my products are the bomb. You know what I'm saying? I know my products are the truth. So I get it. It's kind of like when you go to a restaurant to sit down and eat and you know their food good and you hungry and it's a busy night, right? It's a busy night. You got there, they ain't about to serve you before the other 30 people that's sitting down. You put your order in and everything, and you want that meal to come right away, but it's just not going to come right away. They're going to hit you with an appetizer and a drink or something to keep you occupied in the meantime, but they're going to serve you in the order that they came. And you're going to be bothered all the way up until the point that food come out. And once that food come out and it's nice and hot and you get to eat it, you don't got no problems no more. That way to getting that tip and you having a great experience. And this is similar to that. Everybody comes in the order that it is. In addition to that, there are technical issues that pop up from time to time. There are people that give the wrong zip code, the wrong name. They put this in wrong and that in wrong, and things get returned and things get left at the post office. So we have all types of different issues that transpire in the process of shipping. So as I mentioned before, send in, it doesn't matter when it was from. If you hear what I'm saying, um, go to info@soionicbotanicals.com or utilize the number. I can't do anything for you here on this live. I can't do nothing but tell you to use the email. All right. And the more time I spend talking to you about this, the less time I have talking to everybody else that is in this chat and everybody else that's watching about the topic of this conversation. So I definitely appreciate you for coming forward and letting me know. But as I mentioned before, we have a contact tab on the website. That contact tab has the email. That contact tab has the number. And that is what you use in order to get in touch with the fulfillment team in the office so that you can get updated with your order. Now, if you call right now, you're not going to get nobody. And if you email right now, you're not going to get nobody because it's in the evening and the hours is between 10:30 and 3:30 Monday through Friday, excluding holidays. And you're going to get answered in the order in which it comes. So people will call. It's a live person, which you don't even get anymore. My platform that y'all order from, when I have problems and I have issues, guess what? I don't get to talk to a person. There ain't no person. It's an AI chat. And if the AI chat uh, um, feels that the grievance that I have is enough, then they will connect me with a representative by way of chat. I got to wait for that person. And then when that person comes on and I tell them what the problem is, they can only tell me but so much. And then it gets escalated and then they got to take it by way of email. And I got to wait for the email, and the email won't come for 3, 5, 7, sometimes 10 days later. And this could be an issue based on me trying to help a customer out. So when you call us, at least you get to hear a person, and when you email, you get responded by a person. And if someone calls and they're on the phone for 10, 15, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes throughout 10:30 to 3:30, there's but so many people that you can address in that time. So then whoever they didn't address that day, they have to wait till the next day. So long story short, I need y'all to be patient with me with the customer service. I got all intentions to get anything and everything to you. If I didn't, I wouldn't have so many people with testimonials, so many people in the chat that constantly talk about how good the products are if they weren't receiving the products, But I tell you, out of 100 orders, yeah, 5 of y'all, there might be an issue because that's just the math. That's just probabilities right there, you know? But yeah, you'll get a response. Just keep sending the email. Send another one. If it's been a few days and you ain't heard nothing, send another one. Send another one. Don't send one and you don't hear nothing for a week. And then you're like, no one responded. No, continue to respond, because I know when I'm dealing with certain companies and I ain't got my package or I haven't got certain things, I'm calling. I'm calling every day. I'm calling. I'm leaving messages. I'm sending emails. I'm talking to reps. I'm getting their name. I'm getting their customer service ID. Yeah, I'm telling them, yo, make a notation, because when I call back, I want y'all to see that I've been calling. Like, yeah, you just got to be active with it. But we're going to take care of you. All right. But yeah, you getting to talk to me, but I still can't do nothing for you. So it still goes back to you using the customer service line. Now, what if I took it away? What if I just was like, you know what? I'm tired of hearing y'all complaining about the fact that I have live customer service in a call. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to remove it and don't have nothing like all the companies have today. Because if you go to Facebook, my queen's Instagram, she got shut out on Instagram, can't do nothing with it. Ain't no reps. So Facebook, right? My Facebook got hacked. I found out today, right? So who you call for Facebook? Who you call for Instagram? Who you call for Patreon? Who you call for Shopify? Who you call for any of these companies? Who you call for Cash App? Huh? You call somebody for Zelle. I know you got Zelle, but a lot of these companies, you can't even talk to nobody, you know? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. But yeah, let me get back to the topic. So, we talking about longevity, and we're talking about living for 20,000 years, 20K, and I mean doing that, without having to take no super jab cocktail, There's definitely a natural means to go about doing this. We have to find ourselves in the environments that are not going to cause a leakage of electrons, because that's what it is. There's oxidation and there's reduction. If there's a constant level of oxidation taking place within inside our body, we're breaking down, except when it's HMGB1. Okay. When it's high mobility box 1 in question, you want that to be oxidized, because the oxidation of that particular molecule causes the allowance of the acetylation, the deacetylation of DNA. You know what I mean? And when you're able to manipulate the histones properly, which are the molecules and the mechanisms responsible for accessing the DNA and getting transcription factors to transcribe certain genes and processes off to the DNA to make the necessary proteins and enzymes, it's immaculate. And we think that there's a limited number of proteins and enzymes that we make that are like documented in all these books. But the reality is your body has the ability to create whatever it needs. So, a gene can code for any substance that will equate in the human body achieving a certain ability. We can make anything, right? We will make it, but we have to put ourselves in the proper environment and circumstance so that we can will our body to make it, right? In John, it talks about, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was made flesh. And that is the central dogma of DNA, taking the Yod He Vav He, right? Or the adenine, cytosine, guanine, right? Thymine, nitrogenous bases, and end up creating triplet codons that then, end up becoming proteins by way of messenger RNA. This is letters becoming flesh. All right. Yeah, for Ricardo, you need horse chestnut. All right. Chestnut. Horse chestnut. Okay. Horse chestnut. What's GCAT? GCAT. Oh, guanine, cytosine, adenine, thymine. Yes, yes, exactly. GCAT. I'm like, what is that? Um, yeah, they could produce more eggs for fertility. Yeah, there's women that have children in their 60s and 70s on this planet already, where, here in America, shoot, premenopause is starting in the 30s now, and women are going in their menopause in the 40s now. you know I'm trying to see if Zen put that scientist in here, you know. Peace Cafunia, yes, yes. Naja of Holistic Heights. Yeah, they wanted that too powder. Yeah, Zen of Earth. I want to know, did you put that doctor information down? Oh yeah. The Secret of the Blue Zones is a good documentary for sure. That's them kind of tapping on the door of it. They definitely give you a good amount of information on how to start. Psionic Botanicals is right here. This is the site right here. That's the website. I'm glad you're enjoying the information. Yes, and so yeah, there's so many animals. Tortoises live forever. Elephants live forever. There's so many animals and organisms that live for a very long time. We have the ability to live for a long time. Remember, in the Bible it says we got dominion over animals. How are we going to have dominion over animals and we don't live as long as them? That don't make no sense. How you got dominion over something that's healthier, stronger, and can live longer than you? We're supposed to be way stronger than we are. Because our body is based on angles and leverage. We're bipedal. We stand up, right? We're supposed to be able to utilize leverage to really pick things up by way of utilizing energy, frequency, tone, to do these things. We're really behind the eight ball, man. Like, we really are tripping and struggling out here. And that's not to say God's not blessing us, and not to be grateful for what we have. But there's a reason why there's so much occupied real estate in your brain by propaganda, brands, and things like that, to keep you ruminating and cycling over and over again, on things that just do not add to your longevity, you know? Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, this I found this quite interesting because I just got done talking about that aging is a disease, and talking about the HMGB1 protein, and how in oxidizing it, it equates into longevity. And I'm working on a product based on that right now too. Um, I'll probably release it maybe for my birthday. My birthday's coming up. I'm about to be 44. I'm about to be 44 up in here, man. Yeah, master number is sliding up on me. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, animals eat off the land, live in the elements for sure. Oh, knee pain and arthritis is purple chondrus crispus. It's on sale right now on the site. Go to psionicbotanicals.com and order that. Oh yeah, being able to eliminate cancer. And it's like they keep calling this stuff cancer, and cancer is abnormal cell growth. So it's like, We're really getting miseducated about the body, and we have abnormalities that occur in our body every day, and we deal with them. But when things aren't addressed and the disruption is happening at a greater rate than the fix, then yeah, we got an issue going on, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's in November, it's coming up. I got like 6 weeks, I think, left. Something like that. But yeah, it's creeping up, man. It's creeping up. I don't know what I'm gonna do for my birthday yet, but it's gonna be some epic because it's 44. Anybody who know my brother Blue Pill, I'm gonna have to go out of the country or something. He find out what KT 44. I don't know what he gonna do. You know, what do you have for a second term pregnant woman? The Nesu Nectar Honey, Bontana Oil, Salvation, C3, Phyto Omega 3, Sotriol D, Mucilate, Perilla Oil. I'll say it again. C3, Nesu Nectar, Purple Conjures Crispus, C3, Sotriol D, Chlorella, Mucilate, Perilla Oil. Excuse me. And yeah, that's more than enough. You can pick any. Oh, and Bontana oil. Bontana oil is real good to rub on that tummy. It's going to help, with them stretch marks and everything like that. Make sure you're drinking a lot of okra water. Drink a lot of okra water because that okra water is going to help with the stretching of the vulva and the labia and the vagina. Making that onion. When you create that crown of fire, rather, as the baby crowns. And it's interesting because we always talk about men and women and who's powerful, and the black woman is God or man is God, or who's this, and a man is a king, and a queen can't be a queen unless he marries a king, so the king gives the queen the sovereignty and all that. However, you got to think about the fact that when you're born, it's your mother that gives you your crown, because it's called crowning, right? You come through that vagina, you're crowning. So she gives you your royalty. She makes you royal. She makes the son royal. She makes the daughter royal. And when you look at any movie and any show, any series, or read any book, and they're trying to keep the estate and the wealth in the family, they'd be like, oh man, I gotta have a son. I gotta have a son. Well, they have to marry a woman and impregnate the woman, and the woman has to have a child. So the woman has to give birth to this son so that this son could be king and rule. So you got to keep that in mind too. You know what I'm saying? That's an interesting take. What could be done for COPD? A bongo, which is on the site. Purple Conjures Crispus, which is on the site. Guaco on the site as well. Gordo Lobo, which is on the site as well. But the best thing is going to be a bongo for sure. For the uterine fibroids, you want P3. There's only a few left. That is my queen's wonderful formula that she developed that has been spectacular. For teeth and gum pain, I have my electric daisies, which I believe are sold out on the site right now. That would be the best thing for it. Secondly would be Encino, Corteza de Encino, which is a bark that's on the site. But you could use an astringent. Astringents are real good with the gums. Psoriasis, you got to deal with the liver. So you need to get some quassia, some Chaparro amargo, some Cardio Mariano, and anybody listening, get the ebooks. The ebooks I have on the site, they only $17. And not only do they talk about the particular organ or the part of the body that the book's title shows, it has the particular herbs that are associated with it as well. Okay. No, you're welcome. Yeah. I did hear about the new structure in the brain. It's in the sinus. Yo, that might be the what they call it, the Barthol. What did Dr. York talk about? Dr. York, hold on. He talked about some glands. Yeah, the barotheric glands, right? Yeah. Dr. York talked about the barotheric gland, and he said it was in that area with the sinuses and stuff. I believe that's what he said. So, um, yeah, that it that could be Dr. York coming full circle right now. What's good for prostate cancer? Tekanu. You need to get Tekanu. That's on the site. That's on sale right now too. Hey man, I'll come to Grenada. You got to invite me out there though. Anybody who want me to come to their town, I'll come. I'll lecture. I'll do the presentation. I'll bring the products. I'll answer the people. I'll even give little mini consultations and everything. I'll do the whole thing. But you gotta bring me out. Just reach out to me, info@soionicbotanicals.com. But really, it would really be KT marketing at soionicbotanicals.com. I'm sorry. Anybody who wants to book me, anybody who wants me on a podcast, anybody who wants to do any work with me at all, KT marketing at soionicbotanicals.com, and we'll work it out. How do we join Herbal University? info@soionicbotanicals.com. info@soionicbotanicals.com, and just let us know that you're ready to move forward in being a student. The course is a 26 formulations, course on 26 formulations. The course is $1,700. Pre-enrollment is $1,000. So you save $700 by enrolling early, which is now up until the 21st. It is now about to be the 17th. So that's like another 4 days. I think the 21st is a Sunday. So yeah, y'all got until Sunday, and then the price goes up to $1,700. And then on top of that, I only have a certain limited number of seats because I'm allowing all my previous students to come in for free. So the new students, y'all have a limited amount of seats to occupy. And if people jump on it early, then they're going to be gone. Simple as that. Okay. So, I do consultations right now. They're on the site. You just got to go on the website and book it. You go on there, you buy the consultation, and then you get an email that states, when your availability is, and a questionnaire for you to fill out. So I know what we're talking about and everything. And somebody asked about Von Wildebrand. All right. Hey KT, what herbs are best for Von Wildebrand on your site? So with that, you're looking for things that are going to help the body to clot. And the things that help the clot is going to always be vitamin K, which are green leafy vegetables, but mostly like collard greens, because the K stands for coagulation. That's what K stands for in vitamin K. So you want to look for vitamin K foods that are going to help thicken. And a good way to recognize what has vitamin K in it is, think about the foods you cook. What foods do you cook when you sit it out? It gets thick. Collard green, right? The pot liquor gets thick, right? Chickpeas, beans, lentils, all of that stuff gets thick, right? You leave it out, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. So all of those things have vitamin K in there, obviously, because it has that thickening to it. And herb wise, the mucilage and the cucumeca are the two main blood herbs that I have, that I suggest to people whenever they're dealing with anything with their blood, for sure. So those are the things that I would suggest to you. you know but you might also want to think about getting a consultation. We can dig a little bit deeper, come up with a recommended regimen, and maybe a formula of a couple different herbs to put together for this situation. Oh yeah, Rebecca, can anything herbal wise be done for a torn meniscus, arthritis in the knees? Yeah, Chondrus crispus, purple Chondrus crispus, Nesut nectar. You need those two things for sure. And Sotriol D, that's the vitamin D. Get your vitamin D levels up, combine purple Chondrus crispus and the Nesut nectar together, and start consuming it. You can also put it on the knee. You can also, make like a poultice. You can put the honey on there. That's going to help to regenerate that cartilage. They doubled the dosage in 2023. Yeah, I'm not with that. I ain't with that, but that's me. That's just me. You got to do what you got to do for yourself. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I need to pull some of this stuff up because some of y'all don't even know. Do I even have it up here? Well, maybe not. Hmm. Nope. Okay. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Right now, what do you suggest for the bacteria? Has been diagnosed with the bacteria. With what bacteria? How old is she? I'm not sure. Is it like a bacterial infection? Um, and what is her age, Bridget? Oh, thank you, Joy Bay. Thank you, Joy Bay. Yeah, you'll be getting that P3 soon enough. No, I don't have Cash Chat, Rebecca G, but I do have Zelle. I do have Zelle. So if you're interested in any, I don't know what you're thinking about doing, but you can hit info at psionicbotanicals.com, Rebecca. Say, hey, I was the one inquiring about Cash App, and then I can send you whatever information that you might need, in whatever direction you're going in right now. Yes, J.R. Stark, you want to get some Jamaican black castor oil. You want to get some castor oil. Castor oil penetrates a lot. I would combine pastor oil. I would combine castor oil with my electric daisies. I don't have any available right now, but they also call spilanthes or buzz buttons or acmella. And if you get those and you sit them in the castor oil for a few weeks, then the splanthol from the electric daisies will infuse in the castor oil. And that's very penetrating, and it's going to help with the fascia, and the tissue within inside of the phallus. But you could just start with the castor oil, and you would use that castor oil and you would stretch and rub the phallus so that oil can penetrate down in there, and help. And you can also warm the castor oil up lightly when you do this, You could warm it up lightly and put some other herbs in there so those herbs can infuse in a castor oil, strain it with cheesecloth, and then take that infused oil and rub that on the phallus. All right. Okay, Rebecca J. I appreciate that. Yes, you can just yeah, info soionicbotanicals.com. I think I got another, it's right here. Yeah, boom. That makes it easy. So just send that there, and I'll respond, Rebecca, with a link for you if you want to do that. I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I think that's all the questions right now. But yeah, there's ooh, what foods are good for extending telomeres, huh? Anybody know what a telomere is? Telomeres are like the anglets at the end of your shoestrings, but they're at the tips of your chromosomes. And when they get too short, that's when your age increases. When they stay long, that's when you stay younger and stay strong and youthful and healthy. And yes, honey, the honey is one of the things that do that. My Histonic product, which I have to, it's time to re-release that one for sure. I'm gonna update it a little bit, add a couple little more things to it. That helps with the telomeres. C3 helps with the telomeres. What else helps with the telomeres that I got? Few things, few of the herbs, few of the products. Most of the products are going to help with that, but definitely the honey. Definitely the honey. Yeah, I believe it is on Amazon. It's everywhere. It's not hard to come across castor oil. That's like olive oil. It's everywhere. It's not hard to get. It's like getting hibiscus tea or chamomile, you know? You can find chamomile tea at a gas station. Yeah. Yeah. No, I appreciate y'all hanging with me tonight on a Tuesday night. Just wanted to share this with you. These 20,000 years, man. That wouldn't that be interesting? Like, just think about how many years you've been here so far, how fast it went, but yet how much has took place. And then when you think about how much you've been through, it stretches it out. I was like, yeah, I've been here a minute. And I'm like, is this the midpoint? I'm the halfway, so I get to do this again this amount of time. Now imagine if you get to do that again 10,000 more times, though. It's crazy. That's crazy. Oh yeah, I would think so. I would think you can copulate a lot and live long. Why not? When you're with the right person, making love with them extends lifespan. The oxytocin and the endorphins that are produced in the act of that, it's so healing. Sex is a very, very healing energy when you're with the right person, you know? Oh, thank you so much. Shola Bofin. I hope I said your name right. Shola Ibofin. Maybe it's like that. Maybe there's a little bit more intention on there, you know. But if I butchered it, I'm sorry. All right, so thank you for the $5, which is really, which is really about is a little bit more. It's probably like 625 or 7, you know, because that's some euros I'm looking at right there. But can anything be done about baldness, grayish hair on the sides? Yeah, Bantana, Bantana Mera, Bantana Mera. Yeah, you got to get some Bantana oil, which is on the site right now. It is not on sale. It is a premium product. It was on sale for a little bit, but it's not on sale now. But Bantana, Batana oil. And that is exactly what it is for. All right. So check me out. Check me out. Check me out. Okay, yes, an infection. She's 41. Okay, so I have Chivo Pez, Chivo Pez, Chivo Pez on the site. That's a herb. You should check that. Or you could scrap that. You could just get the parasite purge. Parasite purge is for worms. It's for parasites. It's for bacterial infections, yeast infections, all of that. I would get that, and the honey's included in there too. So I would get the Parasite Purge Gold package. All right, that is on the site right now too, and I think it's half off, which is like, if y'all, and what's crazy thing is, I don't think y'all know about the Parasite Purge pack. It's really a $500 package, but it's half off. But it's like 13 items in there, and the price of all those items together is like $800 really, and there's honey in that package. So you're really paying for like honey and maybe two other herbs, and everything else is free. I'm probably going to change it after the night, because I'm listening to myself and I'm like, why do I have that half off? But it's there now. So, you could jump on that. When I subscribe, will they let me know when it's available? When I subscribe to what, Shola? The Botana oil is available right now on the site. You get it right now. I would get Botana KTS, some Botana oil, the Salvation I got. You need to cleanse that liver out. Cleanse that liver. General autoimmune diseases. One of the best things for autoimmune disease, and I don't carry it, is Kalawala. But strengthening the liver, strengthening the nerves, and cleaning out the blood would be your best bet. I got a diabetic formula, but the herbs in there will double to help with that too. And it's called Maluminous B. Maluminous. I love that word. I made that word up. Maluminous, because it's melanopsin, melatonin, and melanin. All right. And luminous means light. And light is involved in all three of those things. And all those things are dealing with diabetes. They help to modulate diabetes and help with diabetes. And B stands for beta cells, which is where the insulin is produced in the pancreas. So that's how I came up with the name for it. And I like how it sounds. Maluminous. Oh no, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, y'all asked some good questions tonight. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I just wanted to touch bases with y'all, remind y'all that, hey, you ready to jump on board with Herbal University? Pre-enrollment is open, 50% off selected items. P3 is stocked up. C3 is stocked up. Shout out to Wadada for a wonderful pop-up that this past Sunday that took place. And I wanted to share with y'all that they talking about we could live till we 20,000 years old, son. Like, why we ain't talking about that? Why they ain't on the news? Why they ain't a main conversation? So yeah, I appreciate all of y'all for tapping in, asking wonderful questions. I hope I was able to answer everybody and give y'all some gems. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for the love. I will be back sooner than later. KT the Arch Degree signing off. Peace and love, y'all.